Entertainment fans, MCU and DCEU fans, welcome back to Murphy's Multiverse, to another insane week of news where we got to see the official trailer of Moon Knight along with tons of rumors and exclusives that came out, and trust me, you do not want to miss what we found out. Now, before we get started, make sure to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can always stay up to date. And I hope everyone's weekend was very eventful. Some of you may have been watching the NFL playoff games. I myself managed to stay up for that Cardinals-Rams game, and I was super excited for halftime because the first official release of the Moon Knight trailer premiered during the commercial break. Now, thank the Game of Thrones gods for this.
The old and the new.
Because up until halftime, the game was a total snooze fest. But once that trailer rolled, I was just loving it. It was insane. Charles Villanueva and Michael Ford both had an excellent breakdown analysis on our channel, which I highly recommend you go check that out. Now, when it comes to just being this trailer in the news, that is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the MCU news. Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri in Black Panther, has returned to filming Black Panther: Wakanda Forever after suffering that fractured shoulder and a concussion previously on the set. Now, with her returning, this has put a lot of eyes back on that project when it comes to the insiders, the people looking for that news, and two crazy rumors have been reported shortly after her return now. The villain, Namor the Submariner, may be getting his own franchise, and we're being told that Wakanda Forever will set up that project. And as you know, Tenoch Huerta will be playing this role as one of the main villains. Now, you notice I said one of the main villains, and this is because the next rumor suggests that Doctor Doom will also have a minor role in Wakanda Forever. This comes from Bleeding Cool, that also says Marvel Studios has already been working on a costume design for the famous villain. Now, I think this would be just awesome to pop him in Wakanda Forever to build on top of the excitement that's already there for that Fantastic Four film that is coming out very soon. So the Wakanda Forever project lately seems to be on the upswing, but when you're living through a pandemic, unfortunately, nothing is a sure thing. Recently, some of the cast and crew members tested positive for COVID, so things will be on hold for a bit with that production. But we hope everyone stays safe and is back to work in no time. Now, if you have an account with the streaming service Disney Plus, you are in luck. And if you don't have one, that might change after this week's updates, honestly. Remember Real Steel starring Hugh Jackman? Yeah, Disney Plus is creating a new series based on the film. It's still unknown if Disney plans to continue the story from the 2011 film or just reboot it altogether, but there are a lot of veteran executive producers working on this project, including Sean Levy, who was the director of the original Real Steel film, and regardless, we will get to see these robots fight again. So that is some great news, but that's not the only revival that is coming to Disney Plus. A Santa Claus series is coming, and guess who will be playing Kris Kringle again? Tim Allen. And it looks to be sort of like a send-off for Tim Allen's role, so he can pass on the torch to the next Santa. Here's the series' description. Scott Calvin is on the brink of his 65th birthday and realizing that he can't be Santa forever. He's starting to lose a step in his Santa Claus duties, and more importantly, he's got a family who could benefit from a life in the normal world, especially his two kids who have grown up at the pole. With a lot of elves, children, and family to please, Scott sets out to find a suitable replacement Santa while preparing his family for a new adventure in a life south of the pole. So this role was originally passed on to Scott Calvin, if you remember from the first film, after the previous Santa slipped off of his roof. Tim Allen will be doing the same, but hopefully it's a little bit more graceful than the last Claus.
What's that? Oh! Whoa, whoa!
Also, if you didn't get a chance to see Eternals in theaters, don't worry, it's now on Disney Plus, and recently it's become the best MCU debut on the streaming service with over 2 million households watching. Now let's take a look at the DCEU. Leslie Grace unveiled the first look at the Batgirl suit that she will be wearing. And also with that, there was a leaked video from the Batgirl Film News Twitter of an action sequence being filmed on the Batgirl set. Check it out. James Gunn is also raising some new big hype. We've been watching the development of the new HBO series Peacemaker and the multiple characters that have been growing in it. Now Gunn is teasing that one of those Peacemaker characters will return in a big DC movie. He says Peacemaker is part of the DCEU. I mean, they can use these characters. I mean, one of these characters, which people have kind of figured out, one of these characters is used in a future big DC movie that's from here. So we are connected to all of this. Who knows what the role these characters are going to play in the future? I mean, no one knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, and then all of a sudden, they're massive players in Infinity War and Endgame. So who knows what's going to happen with Peacemaker in 10 years, 5 years, or whatever. Now, I personally absolutely love this, and if the DCEU is able to properly do more of this going forward, they could really bring more attention, and it would help clean up some of the past struggles that they've been going through. And Gunn seems to be really helping that process, as he does know and has had success in the MCU films with that. Wow. So that is a ton of news this week, and you'd think there couldn't be any more, but wait. For what I'm about to tell you next, probably one of the wildest stories of the week, Daniel Radcliffe will be playing as Weird Al Yankovic in a new upcoming Roku biopic. I mean, that's just like crazy. I don't think anyone saw this really coming. Yankovic had some very interesting words on this as well. When my last movie, UHF, came out in 1989, I made a solemn vow to my fans that I would release a major motion picture every 33 years, like clockwork. I'm very happy to say we're on schedule, and I am absolutely thrilled that Daniel Radcliffe will be portraying me in the film. I have no doubt whatsoever that this is the role future generations will remember him for. He certainly is a man of his word. We'll take him on that. This is just as shocking as when we saw Microsoft this week. They acquired Activision Blizzard for roughly $70 billion. That's nuts. They are definitely trying to expand their reach in the gaming universe beyond the Xbox console. And don't forget, folks, Chapter 4 of Book of Boba Fett is out, and there is a rumor that the show will feature more of Din Djarin's ship in this show. And Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2 is expected to eye a spring release date, so look out for that as well. Now, this news here kind of snuck up towards the end of the week, and it was a pleasant surprise. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is the title that has been revealed, and the release date we now know will be on Amazon Prime September 2nd, 2022. I'm really excited for this one because it's been a long time since we got some Lord of the Rings content. Wow, that was a lot to take in, a lot to break down, and let me tell you, the news never stops. There is more to come next week. Make sure to comment below what your thoughts are on the newsreel this week, what you liked, what you're excited about. And once again, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can always stay informed. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next week.